Hello everybody and welcome back to Farm Sim 25 and welcome back to our New Frontier Survival Challenge. Today we have a nice task ahead of us, and that is we need some stuff for the sawmill, and rather than like pulling from our forest that's next to the sawmill, I thought we could kill two birds with one stone. Start clearing some of this woods that are next to our field over here. As you can see, our field of soybeans is growing. Very nice. But we have two little forests that are kind of in our way. And I thought this might be the perfect opportunity to go ahead and start cutting into that forest. Cut these trees down. We'll haul them using our truck there instead of the forwarder. We'll load them onto the log truck. Take them in, and we'll load some into our sawmill to fill it up. And then I think the rest we'll just take over to the logging camp and sell off. Just due to the fact that that'll allow us to go a little bit further forward. Or maybe we won't sell them. I don't know yet. But just spitballing. But for now, I think the first thing we need to do is just get right into this and start cutting. Right? I don't know exactly where our property line is. All I know is we got a lot of work ahead of us.
These logs down hitting the springs, sweat on my brow, working hard every day, but the soil's calling, whispering to me, lay down that chainsaw, set the fields free. From timber to tiller, I'm changing my stride, plowing these acres, let the old ways slide. The land is open, ready for seed. Fulfill my need. The pines stood tall, now they're making room for golden wheat fields ready to bloom. Traded my hard hat for a farmer's hat, leaving the forest, and I ain't looking back. Let the old ways slide. The land is open, ready for seeds. Gonna grow my future, fulfill my needs. The chainsaw's now solid in the tractor's purr. Fields of green replace the timber's blur. Seasons change, and so have I. Underneath this vast open sky.
All right, well, I've done a little bit of research, and I found that I already had a mod installed that is better than this trailer. So we're going to go sell this trailer off. We're going to get that other mod, and we are also going to pick up a new stump grinder slash mulcher. As far as I know, it works, so I'm hopeful. I didn't actually test it. I probably should have. I generally try to test mods that I've never used before. Some of them, though, like this, kind of slip through. And if you are the mod creator for this mod, please don't take offense to the fact that I said shame. All right, it's all in good fun. You're far more talented than I will ever be. I have tried making a map, and it has not gone well for me. Learned a lot, but I understand the work that goes into like 3D modeling and stuff. So, trust me, you are. No, I'm not. I'm not being malicious at all. I promise. I'm just, tongue in cheek. But yeah, we're going to take this back because we don't want to be using our tractor to be hauling stuff on this trailer back and forth. Plus, the other mod is pretty insane. I don't know. I don't remember how much it costs, but I don't think it's overly expensive. It is more expensive, I believe, than this. But the other thing is we're going to be picking up that mulcher, and I think that mulcher is going to be a big deal for us. So, again, it's all going to help us in the end because it speeds up the process, right? All of the stuff that we're going to have to do, the repetitive work when it comes to clearing trees and getting rid of stumps and brush and all that stuff, it's all part of it. And if we truly want to try to do a good job of making giant farm fields and stuff like that, we're going to have to clear some trees. That's the beauty of being on a forestry map, right? So the map was made for forestry. All right, so we are going to simply repair, repaint, and sell. Yeah, so that was a super cheap trailer. So the trailer that I found is this mod right here. The Low Loader 3A from the Schwarzmaler Semi Low Loader 3A mod. Okay, so this is the one that you want. And this one has a lot of cool features. Okay, doesn't look like it has ramps, but they do come out the back. We'll show that off in a minute. But because this is going to be our main trailer, we're going to go ahead and paint it. You guys know we see a trailer and we want to paint it black. That's just the way it goes. All right. I'm assuming this is the wood color. I actually wouldn't mind trying to go like, I don't know if we have a chrome. Probably not. Ooh, that actually doesn't look bad. It kind of looks like a basketball floor. But we know this is wood, so we're just trying to find the best color for the wood. Now, we could go black. And honestly, I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I think we stick with the black there. Rim color, though, we got to go with that Case IH red. Boop. And license plate, we will throw it. Whoops. We will throw a license plate on there. It will be back only. And it will be our normal type 2. Boop. All right, SE43. There we go. All right. And there it is. So that is $66,000. It's a lot of money, but we do have it. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up. Now, the other thing we wanted to look at is a mulcher. Forestry mulcher specifically. And as far as I know, this forestry mulcher works to get rid of tree stumps. So we're going to hope that that's true. All right, so here's our forestry, and it's not showing up. Why is that not showing up? Is it just considered a regular mulcher? Because I know I have it. I have the mod installed. It's this one, the Sigma, $8,500. It only takes 60 horsepower, so in theory, this would be capable of being used by one of our other pieces of equipment. But this, from what I understand, this is kind of like a tree be gone. It's not really. It's more for tree stumps rather than like cutting down whole trees. But I'm hoping that this works. So we're going to try it out. So you guys will get to see that right now. $8,500 though, not too expensive. So if it doesn't work out, we can always find something that will. All right, so we will put the forestry mulcher on the front of this. We will keep our other stump grinder just in case for the time being. Wait, is that okay? Never mind. Hold that. Got to put it on the front. Perfect. All right, let's get this down there and we will try it out. The trailer can sit there for the time being because we don't really have a need to move anything at the moment, but we know it's there, so when we need it, we can come get it. But I'm hoping that this will get rid of the stumps. I'm also hoping that it'll be able to I'll have to see what's moving when I do that. But I'm hoping it'll be able to kind of knock down the small trees as well. Because that's kind of what the other cutter does pretty nicely, is you can go through and cut down all these little shrubs with it. Okay, so this just moves it left and right. Got it. Okay. Open cover. Oh, that just shows the belt. That's interesting. Alright. Well, let's turn it on and see what happens. Okay, so yeah, I can't do that. Well, let's hope it can at least get rid of stumps. Otherwise, we just wasted our money. Okay, it does get rid of stumps. And I don't have to be super accurate with it. Alright, so we still will need our other... We still will need our other cutter. So let's go get that. Almost drove through our field. That would have been sadness. We are not running narrow crop tires. But yeah, we'll cut down all the little trees and stuff with the thing, and then we should be able to grind them up using the front. I would imagine once they're on the ground, then it just treats them like a stump, essentially. Allows you to grind them. Could be wrong. But what this is really going to be good for is when we go to do those rows of stump removal, I don't have to be perfectly aligned. I can just kind of set the row and go. But as you can see, we have the sawmill over here full, and we have also managed to got a couple of extra trees over here just in case. Alright, so we got our stump cutter in the back. We got our stump grinder slash mulcher in the front. I will say this, I won't be like doing both at the same time like this. Now, what I could potentially do, and I might actually do, is throw the mulcher on the back and then put the stump cutter on the front, because I'm used to using it on the front. And then we could use both of them. That actually might not be the worst plan. Let's go ahead and drop that there. Drop that there. Swing it around. Put this on the front. And then back up to that. Now, if we turn that on, we turn that on, so you can see we do that. Once, don't get caught. Come on, why you gotta be a pain? Okay. This does take a little bit longer. Like, it's not an instantaneous drive over it and it disappears. Okay, there we go. Knock it over, let it fall. Right, apparently I have to see, and then it's going to cut the grass, and I don't want it. I don't want to cut the grass. So if we're going to do it, we want to get it high enough. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know. Kind of feel like this thing is still better. Just because it can do more. I think that might be useful for like when you've got the rows like we've got. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's going to fall right into the freaking field. Well, that'll be a problem for future me. I can't get into the field right now. This one's going to do the same thing. Or maybe I can knock it the other direction. I doubt it. Well, if it ain't gonna fall on its own, then the good news is I should be able to fell it the direction I want. The tree looks a lot bigger now than it did. Now that I feel like we've got it whittled down a little bit, we should be able to back straight over top of it this way. Okay, and it did get rid of the whole thing. Now we just got to get rid of wherever that stump is. There it goes. So I mean, it does have its uses, but boy, it just does not want to finish grinding that up. I miss my tree be gone back in the day, man. That thing was so nice. Alright, I think that's going to do it for the field expansion. I mean, you can see how much extra field we're going to get out of this. It's substantial. Now, these trees that are up here are off our property line, technically. So they're going to serve as kind of a property marker. Now, I know I likely missed some tree stumps, so I'm going to keep this thing attached. We're going to go over and grab our cultivator slash plow, subsoiler, whatever, to try to open this up a little bit. But the other thing I'm going to do, let's look on the map again. Yeah, these are technically part of this, so I can kind of bring this out a little bit further. I hate when it gets stuck on me. Yeah, that's basically our property line there. And then we have all the way up until, like, the front of this field. Yeah, so this is not technically our property, but I'm going to see if I can cut it down. Oh, I totally can. Good. I do want to cut these little shrubs down that are right next to the road, so. I told you there were stumps that I guarantee that I've missed. But we'll end up finding those when we go to do our plowing. Alright, let's get these little trees right here. Doesn't that look way better? I think it does. Let's get rid of this last bush. And it's gone. Alright, so we have officially opened up this area nicely for us to go ahead and put down the expansion to the field. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to connect the fields right away, but we can at least make it look halfway decent. Now, the part that I think is going to work really well for this particular mulcher that we just bought, I think we can still use it. I think it's still got a purpose. It will be over here on this, like, tree farm. So we're gonna test it out, and if it does work really well for it, then we'll leave it. Because again, it cuts grass, which is okay, but I really don't want to have to deal with that. And since there's no grass to cut, as long as this allows me to easily cut tree stumps and even those little stick pieces, then we are good. So I am going to turn this on and lower it, and then just drive forward. Oh, but it slows me way down. Okay, what if we pick it up? Yeah, I take it all back. Not a big fan of this thing. See, if it doesn't, if the stumps are not tall enough, it doesn't even recognize them. Yeah, I don't like this. Alright, we'll be selling that. To put it into perspective, like, this is what we've got here, right? See the difference? And we do this at full speed. If I'm not trying to hit the sticks, I can just set this thing on a line. Oops. Had to prove me wrong, did it? Well, what are the odds of that? If you go too fast, you end up outrunning the machine. So yeah, I think this stump cutter is still better. Maybe there's another mod out there that's better. But yeah, this one, not so much. Got that. Now I know there's a few stumps down through here that I wanted to clean up too. So we're just going to go down this way. We'll get a couple of the sticks that we see, and then if we see any stumps, we'll get them too. Remember, we had to clear this entire area, and I know there were stumps that were just outside of what we ended up planting. Because I've run over them like 30 times. There you can see one. Boy, this episode is going to be a hodgepodge of everything, isn't it? Again, I apologize. There's not been like a cohesive video here today, but like I'm trying. I just don't have a lot of like ways to make this more entertaining than it already is. You're either going to like this or you're not. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. But it's a necessary evil, right? It's all part of expanding. You got to put in the work in order to be able to have the farm fields. Just glad we got easy like equipment that we can make it somewhat easier to do. But yeah, I don't think this mulcher is worth. And if the mulcher's not worth it, then it's going bye-bye. I think that is all of the stumps. Alright. Let's take our stump cutter, and we're going to leave the stump cutter here for the time being. Because this is where it's going to be utilized the most. And then we're going to go ahead and drop this back off, sell it, and then pick up our plow and try to do some plowing. Now, I don't remember if we ended up buying the better cultivator yet. Hoping that we did. I don't remember. We're definitely going to have to look into it. Now the next forest that we need to try to get rid of is this one right over here in front of our field on this side. We can get rid of that. We can make a much larger field. But that is a lot of trees. That is very dense forest. So I'm not sure if I'm going to even bother with that. That is so much work. Like, you saw how much work it was for the little bit of trees that were here, right? Now imagine that times 3 or 4 for that little tiny area. May not be much area, but man, they packed a lot of trees into that small area. We'll look through our list of equipment, see if we can find the cultivator that we should have bought. I don't remember if we did buy it. But it's just it's like a ripper plow, essentially. It's going to allow us to break up the topsoil at a wider working width. Because I'm pretty sure the one that we have is like 4 meters, and that's brutal. Alright, repair, repaint, sell. Alright, let's take a look at our current equipment and see what we got. So we bought the disc harrow. This is just a regular cultivator, or can it create fields? I'll have to look into that. I think that's our cultivator. Yeah, and there's the thing that we had that allows us to rip up the field. Yeah, 4 meter working width. All right. Well, I'm going to assume that that other one does not. Let's look at it. If we go into cultivators, it should be in here. Or maybe it was a disc arrow. Because what we're after is something like this. Right? They're expensive, though. We don't quite have the money for it. This one here is capable of 6 to 12 meters. If we go with the 12, what does that give us? 21,000? And that would allow us a 12-meter working width? I think that's what we go for. And I'm sure this folds up. Requires 340 horsepower. Now, I'm pretty sure we got 400 and some odd horsepower, so we should be able to handle that. So let's go ahead and pick this up then. Am I wrong? Oh, okay. I was not wrong. I was like, is this not going to work? It does fold up. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, now to take this over and see if this actually works. I'm pretty sure that, like, if we look at the side of this, it should tell us, yeah, we got 425 horsepower. This is the Massey Ferguson 9S with the 425 package. So we are good to go. Horsepower is not a problem, baby. But we will have to pay attention to our property line. And again, we can't connect the field right away because we do have beans in it. And the last thing we want to do is destroy some of our beans in order to make that a thing. We can always connect them after the fact. So what we'll do is we'll probably... You can see we are going to allow it to create a field. I never thought I could have got off the tractor. I probably can pick that up, can't I? Yeah, totally can. You know what? My neighbors aren't really doing anything with their property over here, so I don't think they'll mind if I just leave a little bit of brush laying around. I mean, I did clean up some of their brush. Right? Like if we just walk this over here and yep, that's on their property. That's their problem. Ain't mine. See? Nobody even noticed. It's perfect. I didn't see nothing. It'll decompose and be part of the soil just like everything else around here. It's fine. It's not like we're littering. Alright. Let's take a look at our farm field area so that we can figure out what our field boundary is going to be. So for farmland, we can go over a little bit. I mean, honestly, we could go a little bit bigger pretty much everywhere. To put it into perspective, yeah, you can see, like, the property in this is a little bit awkward. But in theory, we could just do, like, from here down. I think this is about our property line. Sorry if I keep pausing it on y'all, but I am trying to pay attention to where our property boundaries are. Alright, and then we can pretty much go all the way that direction. Because we're basically running right along the border right now. So yeah, we should be able to take this right along the forest. Obviously, I don't want to get it too close to the trees here. I'll be able to maneuver. Alright, so we are getting a little bit close, so we want to just pay attention. Alright, and this is about it, so we want to cut over at this point. Again, I apologize, but I just trying to keep an eye on where the map is and everything. Like I said, there will be tree stumps, 100%. I don't know why I didn't leave this stump cutter on here. That would have been smart. I've never been accused of being smart. Pretty sure I said I was going to leave the stump cutter on for that exact reason, and I still didn't do it. But yeah, we'll leave a little bit of a gap between the field and the new area. But we will be pulling these together when we can. Just going to make it close enough that one pass will connect the two fields. But look at the extra area that we're going to get on this field. That is what we like to call significant. And then I'll come through and clean up these tree stumps that are left behind off camera, because you guys have seen enough, I think, for the day. Like I said, we'll fill in the gaps around the fields, and we'll try to connect that corner to that as best we can. But yeah, now we just fill in the blanks, right?
That forest stood tall right next to my beans, blocking out the light, busting up my dreams. So I fired up the saw, let the engines roar. One tree down, then 100 more. We're clearing land and feeling right, swinging that axe from day to night. Pull the stumps, roll through twice. Next year's harvest gonna be twice as nice as nice. Brought in the plow, shiny and new, ripped up the topsoil, let the earth come through. Watch that time lapse, dirt flying by. Hard work's paying off under that open sky. Yeah, we're clearing land and feeling right, working this ground with all our might. Blood and diesel, sweat and ice. Next year's harvest gonna be twice as nice as nice. From a field so small to one so wide, we carved this out with farmer pride. Logs are gone, roots dug deep. This land's ours now, and the soil runs sweet. So when the soybeans start to rise, I'll tip my hat to cloudy skies, 'cause we built this field with calloused hands. Now it's twice as nice, this patch of land. Start to rise, I'll tip my hat to cloudy skies. 'Cause we built this field with calloused hands. Now it's twice as nice, this patch of land.
All right, there you have it, folks. Our field expansion has been laid out. Now again, when we harvest our soybean fields, all we'll have to do is connect the two fields together. Let's go ahead and save real quick, and I'll show you guys on the map the size of the expansion comparative to our other current field. And you can see that we're not quite doubling, but it's pretty freaking close. We go from using about 30 to 40% to using about 80% of our total property square. So I feel like that's going to be a significant amount of difference. Again, this is our little forest over here. As much as I would like to knock that out, but I mean, there's just so many trees in there, so much work, and you've seen how much work it is to actually get this stuff done. So yeah, it's not easy. Well, I mean, it's easy, but it's a lot of work. But I am kind of liking the way this is looking. But the one thing I didn't want to look at is there anything plantable in June that's going to be harvestable by the time, April runs around? And, I mean, everything that I'm seeing is like carrots and green beans, olives, parsnips. It looks like mostly root crops. And, yeah. I just don't really have a way to harvest all that, so I don't think I'm going to be putting a root crop in. So it looks like this will end up sitting here dormant, which will give me plenty of time to come back over here and grind up all these tree stumps that we left around. But at least they stick out now. It'll be easy to find. But I'm pretty happy with that. That's going to be a significant field expansion, and that's going to net us a lot more money. I mean, almost double the amount of yield per harvest, essentially. I mean, that's going to be nice. Can't wait to get that all joined up together nice and neat. But yeah, I think this, I mean, as the sun is starting to get real low in the sky, I feel like this is the perfect place to go ahead and call the episode. Now, again, I don't know if you guys are like even caring at this point, but between the 3 recordings sessions that I did for this episode, we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.5 hours worth of video that I've recorded for this particular episode. So yeah, just as a little trivia there for you guys, so you guys can understand. This was one of those weird episodes where I started out with a plan, and then I underestimated how long it would take to do what I had to do, and then I ended up having like second thoughts, and I've missed 2 episodes because of it, because I wanted to get a good episode out, and I didn't want to just like, I don't know, I felt like breaking this into different episodes didn't seem right. I just wanted to get it all done. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this or not. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.